Hello, Internet.
Being a loner and having time often throughout your life where you can be alone, that'll help you recharge so much. But you can't be alone all the time because whether you like to think so or not, humans are social creatures and some form of social interaction is required. And I feel like I'm starting to get further and further away from that every day. When I was a kid, like before middle school, I literally would roll around my neighborhood with a pack of kids on skateboards, bikes, scooters, rollerblade, anything, and it was an almost daily experience. I would be with, a group of at least 3 to 5 kids at a time, but we would interact with other groups and other people throughout the day. So I was interacting with at least 10 kids my age almost every single day just out in the world. And then when I became a teenager, I was friends with a lot of different groups of people, but I never felt like I fully fit in with any single group. And I never felt like I was really a part of any clique, if you will, or any like group. I never felt fully accepted, but people liked me. I still had friends and I was still socializing often, but it didn't feel as natural, I guess, as it did when I was younger. And then when I got into my 20s and people were going off to college, people were graduating and moving away, they were kind of getting into their career, getting families started, even. Everything really starts to get splintered. And I feel like because of my tendencies to enjoy being alone and enjoy not being connected to people all the time, I really let myself slip into bad social habits. And I didn't, often hang out with people, even though I lived in New York City, which there's stuff to do everywhere. And it's not like I never left my apartment, but I really limited myself to what I did and who I socialized with. And now that I'm starting my 30s, things are really starting to slow down. And I moved to a completely new city that the only people I know here are my partner and my partner's family. I would even say that I don't have a single friend of my own in Portland where I live. Not one. Every friend that I interact with is online, and they're friends that don't live in the city that I live in. They live in LA or they live in New York or they live anywhere. So it's not often that I'm really getting to interact with my peers anymore and interact with like minded people in real life in the same way that I did when I was a kid. And when I was a kid, it was so natural. And now, if I was to do that, it would feel frightening and it would feel forced and it would feel like something that I'm almost scared to do, which is crazy because that's not how humans are meant to exist in this world. We're not meant to exist in this isolated of a way. But due to the comforts of, Western civilization, I can just completely slip into a fully individual lifestyle or almost fully individual lifestyle. It's basically living and surviving without community. And I don't believe that's how humans are meant to live. So, what would lead somebody to want to live like this? Well, first of all, I don't really trust people. I have a really hard time trusting anybody, including myself, including the most closest people I have in my life. And they all know that too. So, it's easier for me and there's less perceived pain if I limit my interactions with people so that I don't get hurt, I don't get my trust violated, and I don't feel like I've lost something. It's a defense mechanism. I'm trying to protect myself. I'm creating my own little bubble and my own world that I can exist in, and all the rules are dictated by me if I'm just by myself doing my own thing in my apartment and there's no one else around and there's nothing else I have to do if I'm not working or if I'm not with my partner, then I can just create my own world basically. And because of my loner tendencies, 9 out of 10 times, or probably more than that, I would say 10 out of 10 times, I'm going to choose to be by myself. But I'm starting to feel the ramifications of that, after living in Portland for 3.5 years and spending so much time by myself because I work from home, my partner is gone all day at their job, and I just really don't get out enough. Even just walking around, I barely go outside except to walk my dog and to smoke, basically. So I really got to figure out a way to like break out of this because I don't need these defenses anymore. Like, I'm not in a place where I need to be so protective of myself. A lot of that stuff I've dealt with in therapy and just confronting in my real life, and I've healed. But I've built these habits over years because of my pain that I now need to shed and move back out into the world. But it feels so scary, even to just go outside more often and try to have small talk with people that I see around my neighborhood often. It's something that I've had to get practice doing. It's taken me practice to feel comfortable doing that and to almost want to do that. But that's not enough for me. I wish that I had a community of like minded people that I can spend a decent amount of time interacting with so I can almost validate my life in a way. Because right now, the only person that I have to validate my life is myself and my partner, which is great. And that's the most important, too. I feel great about the way my life is, the way I'm choosing to live my life. My partner feels great about the way I'm choosing to live my life. That's all that really matters. But I can't just survive off of the bare necessities anymore. That's what it feels like. I feel like I need more. I need more human interaction. And that sounds so crazy to say, but that's really like where I'm at. I just genuinely wish that I had more people that are doing similar things to me, like making music or interested in some sort of creative pursuit, or at least are into creative things and like are just, I don't know. And I know it's out there because Portland's a dope city and, there's a lot of creative people here. There's a lot of artists here. But it's like I don't know how to make that happen. And I don't really know how to go about it in a way that feels natural because it's so hard for me not to feel like I'm forcing things all the time. But you know what? Sometimes you have to force it. You have to just force yourself to do it. If there's something that you really want to do and you feel in your heart that it's the right thing to do and it makes sense for you to do that thing, you got to force yourself to do that shit. You got to find time to make it happen. And that can be literally anything. Your choice, whatever you feel deep down in your soul. Really try to force yourself to do it because those feelings are what are supposed to be driving us as humans, I believe. But this societal life that we live in, this fast capitalist world, is just constantly trying to pull us away from those feelings. And that's not even like some commentary on society. It's just, in my opinion, the very natural part of existing and being alive. And so often we are forced to ignore those feelings and just let them fall by the wayside. But I don't accept that anymore. I'm going to start forcing myself to do things that I want to do. Like go outside more, go for walks, even just make more music, stream more often, interact with the friends I do have more often. Like even if it's just on the internet, I need to do that. I need it. And I'm going to force myself to do it starting now. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm going to jam a little bit and then I'm going to get out of here. But just remember, things are getting better and it's too late to stop it. Your life will improve and there's nothing you can do about it. I'll see you in the next one.